Well, I started climbing at 50, and it was the first new thing I had done since I was like 16, and it seemed to appeal to problem solving, and it gives you a reason to keep fit. And the companionship of the people you climb with is invaluable. The best friends I have are through climbing. And I think climbing generates those kinds of friendships.
Well, I've been climbing for about 15 years now, and one of the things I really like about climbing is it's a mental and physical challenge at the same time. And for me, that's what attracts me to it. The focus that it takes to climb the harder climbs is something that lets you forget about all the stresses in the regular world. So when you're out here in nature and on the rock, it doesn't matter what stresses are in your personal life, your work life, or anything else. It's all melts away, and you just focus on the task at hand.
Well, I guess I've been climbing almost all my life, serious climbing for the last 35 years. I've been to Sardegna a few years back with some other friends of mine. I had a great time here. It's a great balance of life, great island, good atmosphere.
Just started coming to Sardegna. This is third time for me, and it's a very appealing place, not only to climb but just to be. It doesn't have the crowds of mainland. It doesn't have the frenetic pace, and you don't have to worry about driving in an insane city. And the countryside is amazing. And the climbing so far has been outstanding.
Last year when we came to Sardegna to do some of the great climbing here, we didn't even know about Aguglia, and we met an Italian climber who told us that we must do Aguglia. You can't come to Sardegna without doing Aguglia.
Last year when we did the Aguglia, it was pretty much word of mouth. We learned about it through some climbing acquaintances we made and through a couple of pictures on the internet or climbing magazines. So anticipating it was more of a shot in the dark. Didn't really know. And then the long approach and the slightly unstable weather gave it a certain atmosphere. This year, I knew exactly what was going to happen, and we approached it through the ocean, which was a very interesting approach. That coming into that grotto was amazing.
Cala Golorizze is a protected area of Sardegna, and you're not allowed to bring a motorized boat up to the beach, nor can you anchor your boat near the beach. So one of us had to take on the task of rowing the boat back out after dropping the gear off, and then swimming back to shore. And Larry was the one who stepped up to the plate.
The first swim, I tried not to suck up any water because I knew salt water would have a tendency to make me feel nauseous, but it seemed like much as I tried, I still sucked down some water, and I felt nauseous for about a half an hour. And it was a good thing Mike took off in the beginning.
I had the lead of the first pitch, which certainly puts me a little out of my comfort zone, but I got some time to think about it and internalize the moves because there was a team in front of us. Although watching the team go up in front of us certainly impacted my confidence in a negative way, because even the leader of that team stepped on the bolts to get through the moves that I was about to do. He looked like he was in pretty good shape and seemed like to be a little bit more difficult than I remembered. But it just turns out that that team wasn't very strong. They had to back off and couldn't complete the climb, which certainly slowed us down. But got the first pitch out of the way on lead. Larry led the second pitch. Bob led the third, and Larry led the final two. And it took longer because there were three of us and having to wait for the other team, but getting to the top again was just as much fun.
The climb itself went really well. We climbed fairly conservatively, stuck with the initial plan. We certainly could have linked many of the pitches together, probably divided the number of pitches in half, saved another hour and a half in that. Top was gorgeous. You could spend half a day up there on top, being a voyeuristic guy, looking at the ocean and the beach and the scenery, but eventually somebody else would come up there and want you to move on. So.
It is one of the best climbs, I think, around. I don't know. I've never done a bunch of multi-pitch adventures, but the ones that I have, I'd place this on the top.